Hello students, welcome to the course on Advanced Digital Communication and the course code is MCE 102. This is the course for MTech EC first semester students. Myself Dr. Surojit Bosak, Assistant Professor of EC Department, Guru Nanak Institute of Technology, Kolkata, and this is my official email address. Today we are going to start lecture number 7 from the baseband signal receiver and probabilities of bit error. Actually, in the last class we have started QPSK. We have determined the time domain expression, signal constellation diagram for QPSK signal. We have also drawn the time domain waveform as well as error probability calculations for QPSK signal. Now today we are going to discuss on generation, detection, bandwidth requirement, offset and non-offset QPSK. And the lesson objective of today's topic is analyze various digital communication techniques, can compute the power spectra performance, and compare their advantages and limitations. And this topic is mapped with CO number 2. So let us start lecture number 7 from the module of baseband signal receiver and probabilities of bit error with the topic of generation of coherent QPSK signals. This is the block diagram of a typical QPSK transmitter. The incoming binary sequence is first transformed into polar form by a non-return to zero label encoder. Thus, symbol 1 and 0 are represented by plus root over EB and minus root over EB. This binary wave is next divided by means of demultiplexer into two separate binary waves consisting of the odd and even numbered input bits. These input binary waves are denoted as A1T and A2T. We note that in any signaling interval, the amplitudes of A1T and A2T equals S1, SI1 and SI2. The two binary waves A1T and A2T are used to modulate a pair of quadrature carriers or orthonormal basis functions. Phi 1t equal to root square root of 2 by t cos 2 pi fct and phi 2t equal to square root of 2 by t sin 2 pi fct. The result is a pair of binary PSK signals which may be detected independently due to the orthogonality of phi 1t and phi 2t. And finally, the two binary PSK signals are added to produce the desired QPSK signal. So this is the generation technique of QPSK signal. The QPSK receiver consists of a pair of correlators with a common input and supplied with a locally generated pair of coherent reference signals phi 1t and phi 2t. The correlator outputs x1t and x2t produced in response to the received signal xt, and each compared with a threshold of 0. If x1 greater than 0, then a decision is made in favor of symbol 1 for the in-phase channel output. But if x1 less than 0, a decision is made in favor of symbol 0. Similarly, if x2 greater than 0, a decision is made in favor of symbol 1 for the quadrature channel output. But if x2 less than 0, a decision is made in favor of symbol 0. Finally, these two binary sequences at the in-phase and quadrature channel outputs are combined in a multiplexer to reproduce the original binary sequence at the transmitter input with the minimum probability of symbol error in an AWGN channel. Then power spectra of QPSK signal. Now, depending on the die bit sent during the signaling interval, say minus TB to plus TB, or T belongs to minus TB to plus TB, the in-phase component equals plus GT or minus GT. And similarly for the quadrature component, the GT denotes the symbol shaping function, which is denoted as GT equal to square root of E by T when T belongs to 0 to capital T. Otherwise, it is 0. So, hence the in-phase and quadrature components have a common power spectral density, namely E sin square TF. The in-phase and quadrature components are statistically independent according to the baseband power spectral density of the QPSK signals, and the sum of the individual power spectral densities of the in-phase and quadrature components. So we may see SBF equal to 2E sin square TF, or it is say 4EB because E equal to 2EB, 4EB sin square T equal to now 2TB, 2TB into F. So this figure is basically a normalized frequency FTV and normalized PSD, that is SBF by 4FB. So this is the waveform, power spectra waveform for QPSK signal, and compare it with MSK. MSK is not actually will be discussed in the latter. Next is the very important term, that is offset QPSK. What is offset QPSK? See, the carrier phase changes by plus minus 180 degree whenever both in phase and quadrature components of the QPSK signal changes sign. An example of this situation is illustrated in this figure. When the input binary sequence switches from die bit 0, 1 to 1, 0, the carrier phase change by plus minus 90 degree whenever the in phase or quadrature component changes sign. An example of the second situation, that is when the input binary sequence switches from die bit 1, 0 to 0, 0, say 1, 0 to 0, 0, during which the in-phase component changes sign, whereas the quadrature component is unchanged. And the carrier phase change is unchanged when neither the in-phase component not the quadrature component changes sign. This last situation is illustrated when die bit 10 is transmitted into successive symbol interval. So the first situation are too much a lesser constant. Situation 2 can be of a particular concern when the QPSK signal is filtering during the course of transmission. Specifically, the 180-degree and the 90-degree shifts in carrier phase can result in changes in the carrier amplitude, that is envelope of the QPSK signal, thereby causing additional symbol error in detection. So, whenever, see, in case of why offset QPSK as less PE than a non-offset QPSK. Now, this is called the non-offset QPSK. Non-offset QPSK means it shifts plus minus 90 degree and it shifts plus minus 180 degree, as well as it can be no shift. So plus minus 180 degree, if there is a shift, possible shifts, then it is called non-offset QPSK. But in case of offset QPSK, there is no provision to shift plus minus 180 degree. Only they can shift plus minus 90 degree or even no shift. So 2-bit change is not possible. In case of offset QPSK, only 1 bit change at a time. So error probability is less in offset QPSK than non-offset QPSK. Then pi by 4 shifted QPSK. An ordinary QPSK signal may reside in either one of the two commonly used constellation diagram. Now, which are shifted, this waveform when shifted, this waveform when shifted by pi by 4 with respect to each other, then QPSK is known as pi by 4 shifted QPSK. And this is the 8 possible phase states for the pi by 4 shifted QPSK modulator. So, so this is all about QPSK. Next, we start another important term or modulation, that is a advanced of BPSK, that is called MREPSK. So QPSK is a basically special case of MREPSK, where the phase of the carrier takes on one of m possible values, namely theta I equal to 2 into I minus 1 into pi by m, where I equal to 1 to m. Accordingly, during each signaling interval of duration t, one of the m possible signals, say SIT equal to square root of 2e by t cos 2 pi fct plus 2 pi by m into I minus 1, where I equal to 1, 2, 3 up to m. Now here E is the signal energy per symbol, and the carrier frequency Fc equal to Nc by T for some fixed integer Nc. Now, from this figure, we note that the signal space diagram is circularly symmetric. Therefore, we may based on actually union bound to develop an approximate formula for the average probability of symbol error for MRE-PSK. Suppose that the transmitted signal corresponds to the message point M1, whose coordinates along the phi1 and phi2 axis are plus root E and 0 respectively. And suppose that the ratio E by N0 is large enough to consider the nearest two message points, one on either side of M1, as potential candidates for being mistaken for M1 due to channel noise. And this is shown here for, actually here it is shown for M equal to 8, that is for 8 possible symbols. And D12 equal to D18, see D12, this distance between M1 and M2, and D18 is same, and which is 2 square root of E sine of pi by M. Therefore, average probability of symbol error for coherent MRE-PSK, which is PE equal to ERFC square root of E by N0 sine pi by M. So this is the average probability of symbol error for coherent MRE-PSK. And the symbol duration for MRE-PSK is defined as T equal to TB log M2, log M base 2, where TB is the bit duration and the power spectral density for MRE-PSK signal is given by SBF equal to 2E sin square TF, that is 2EB log M base 2 sin square TB into F into log M base 2. So we show the normalized power spectrum. Here we show the normalized frequency and normalized power spectral density, that is SBF by 2EB, which is plotted for 3 different values of M. That is for M equal to 2, M equal to 4, and M equal to 8. Okay. So this is all about MRE-PSK. Let us take an example. Let PEI and PEQ denote the probabilities of symbol error for the in-phase and quadrature channels of a narrow band digital communication system, so that the average probability of symbol error for the overall system is given by PE equal to PEI plus PEQ minus PEI into PEQ, where PEI and PEQ is the probabilities of symbol error in in-phase and quadrature channel. How to solve the problem? Very simple. So just probability of correct reception, average probability of correct reception is, correct decision is because they are statistically independent. PEI and PEQ are independent, statistically independent. Therefore, their average probability of correct reception is 1 minus PEI into 1 minus PEQ. So if we multiply it, this looks like this. So now average probability of symbol error PE equal to 1 minus PC, that is 1 minus probability of correct decision, now which now implies PEI plus PEQ minus PEI into PEQ. Okay, so this is all about QPSK MREPSK signal. So in that, let us stop here. Thank you. And in the next class we start frequency shifting.